Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 22 on Calmsden Farm. Right, so I have got a big update about the map and the playthrough that I'm doing and the series. So with the update coming out, the 1.2 version that's been modified as well to have support for precision farming and a custom soil map for the Gloucestershire area that it's set in. So what I've done is I've started a brand new save game and I've tried to catch up or try and get to a similar point I was in the last episode and on the previous save game, just to carry it on. Because the update needs a new save game and Oxy's kindly sent it over to me early to do some testing and so on, I thought it best to start afresh and actually carry on. Now, there were some things that I couldn't do. I can't have the same amount of bales. It would have just took me ages. I would have to buy them in and put them to that point. But I've given myself a good amount of bales just to start off with. But we are set to pretty much just carry on. Now, there is a few changes. The first change I'm going to point out is I've moved house. This is now my house. I do like this house and I kind of prefer its location based to where you actually start off. I've also put in a few little different ground textures. So as you can see, this here is if we had to get some patching done on the yard, or the driveway should I say. It's more of a driveway. But the sleep trigger's now over there and this is the house we start off with. I've got myself a Range Rover this time and a Land Rover. So that's pretty cool. Let's just have a quick drive round and I'll be able to show you exactly what I've done. We will talk about precision farming as well. But let's go up to the cow yard first. My money's sitting around 104,000. Now I did have 300,000 when all the silage at the biogas processed. So I have taken a 200,000 pound hit, but there's a reason for that. Mainly because I've bought some different equipment and I just thought it was fair to start off around this kind of money. So I've got the same amount of cows. We've still got 60 cows. I've made sure that their feeding trough is full and I've tried out a different feeder. I've gone with this. I thought it looked pretty good. It holds a little bit more and I just thought I'd try something new out. I always tend to go with the Keenan by 4D modding, but I thought I'd give it just some other mods a chance to see how they perform. If we don't like this, we will switch back, but why not? Let's try this out. So, same slurry tanker, same manure spreader that we just recently bought, and I've got some manure generating in here. It's only just started, so I haven't got too much. So you can see we've got 60 cows, same as what they were. They are 16 months in age. They are a little bit old. I think they were 14 months on the last episode, so we're 2 months in ahead. Now that's because I've had to do quite a bit of work to get the fields the way they were before. Not the state of the fields, as in what's in the ground, what we've planted, for example. It was actually combining the fields that I did and modifying just a little some little touches to the map that I did. But I've actually changed it, the way I've done that, and I think it's actually improved. So hopefully when I show you, it might give you some ideas for yourself. You might agree that it does look a little bit better. So like I said, 16 months Holstein. We've got pretty much just around halfway point when it comes to TMR mix. And you can see that they generate quite a bit of slurry and milk as well, so we'll get that sold soon. The sheep, which we'll go have a look at, again, we're at the same amount we were, 12 months now. We have got quite a lot of wool sitting to put on the trailer, which I have brought the trailer down by where the wool spawns out as well. Again, they're about 50% down on food, or up on food, depending on how you want to see that. So let's just quickly drive around here. We can have a look at the field, and also you can see that the milk tanker, I've gone with a bit of a different colour. I will change that though. When I thought it looked better in the shop menu than what it does there, so I will change that because it kind of looks a little bit silly, let's be honest. I should definitely change that. So the bales, I've got 8 of each. I've got 8 straw, 8 hay bales and 8 silage bales sitting here, and that's pretty much everything around this area because we are obviously depleted now. And the field itself, what I did was harvest it. I didn't keep any of the grain, got rid of it. And then the field is in a state where it needs mulching, and obviously the weeds have grown up. And yeah, it just needs tended to. It's not in the best state, to be honest. I got the same types of equipment, except a few small changes to the baler. Decided to try out something different than the Heston baler. So I have gone with a nice, new, more modern baler, so we'll have a look at that as well. But let's go around to the actual arable yard. We'll have a quick look around there and then we'll carry on to the other fields in a second. It's going to be weird to drive to our home now without taking that path. So not much has changed really, except some of the vehicles have changed, but equipment is pretty much the same. So let's just pull the Land Rover over here, and what we'll do is I'll talk you through the equipment that I've gone for. So we already had the 7810, I've carried on with that. Now the hours on this are not exactly like they were on the other tractor. I've tried to add some hours in, don't get me wrong, I've put some hours onto this. It's at 95.1, so it's probably a lot more than what it was. And I've also put some hours onto the, well, I've gone to the wrong one here, onto the Axion that we got. So what is going on? There we go. Class Axion 870. So this has now got 950 hours, kind of went a bit too much with that. It's obviously brought the price down, so if we sold it we'd get hardly anything, but we've got the same tractors on that front. Now I did have a Ford and it was my smaller tractor, but I've swapped that out for this massive 5470. Now the reason for that is because AMG obviously sent me over their massive Fergusons to test out, and I absolutely love them, and it's just going to be, it would just be, and it's something I regretted instantly if I didn't add one into the save game and on this series. So we're now going to obviously have this massive 5470, and we're going to be using it for lighter hand jobs like tedding, maybe even baling. It is 155 or 150 horsepower, so it's pretty good going. Now, right at the end of the last episode, I bought some, obviously, bigger equipment, hence the fast track that was on offer. So I thought, why not? Let's go out and get the same fast track, but this time use a modded version where we can just customise a little bit. And look at it, it's absolutely awesome, this fast track is. The 8330, it's got a hell of a lot of horsepower. It is our obviously most powerful tractor. Now weirdly, because this one is the modded version that I used, and it's the same one from the previous save game, so continuing on from the series, it's just actually got the same horsepower as this. And I never thought that was the case, but they're both around just under the 300 mark, I'd say. I think or the 200 mark. Let me just confirm that. So we've got, wrong one. If we go up, you can see medium tractors. So this one is 295 and this one's 300. So yeah, both of them are around the 300 mark. We've got the Massey, that's 155, and then finally we've got this, it's 350. So we've got a nice range there, and this is going to help out when carting especially, but I think it will also do a pretty good job in the field. So we will take that for a drive in a second. Harvester's the same, all that equipment's exactly the same, as you could probably tell around here as well. The only difference I had was a mulcher. So the roller's the same, shallow cultivator is the same, seed is the same, which is obviously not going to be direct seeding, so we are going to have to take care of precision farming now. So it's got a few questions about precision farming. It's going to be difficult to get that maximum score on this map, it really is. But then this is the mulcher that I've gone for, so a little bit bigger, and I think we can pull that now. And then finally, if we just go around here, I can show you the equipment. So in there is, like I said, the same style harvester, the same header. But then around here, I've got my wrapper, I've got fertilizer spreader. This is the baler that I've gone for this time, a really fancy baler. Do you know, since this baler came out within FS22, I always liked the style of it, the look of it, but you know what, I've never actually used it. I've always gone for like the more traditional vintage style balers, or nothing to this extent, but I thought, why not? Let's go all out. We made some good money in the last episode, in the last few, well, in the last season, harvest really, we made some good money, so I thought, treat yourself and get a nice baler. And yeah, this is going to turn out a treat. We're obviously going to have different style bale sizes now. We're going to have the traditional ones, which might be an improvement because of the fact that I've got a mod that makes the density of the bales and the weight of the bales a little bit more easy when it comes to handling them when you're manually loading or unloading, so that should help us in the long run. But yeah, I thought I'd just try out this New Holland baler. And then we've got the same round baler that I went for in previous episodes. So let's jump into the JCB, because I absolutely love this tractor now. I just think it looks really nice. I've gone for a more yellow tinge to it as well, black and yellow. But as you can see, it's not the traditional JCB colour. And look at the size of them tires, it's massive, beast. I don't usually go for equipment size this big, but I thought, why not? We're obviously going to be harvesting bigger fields, as you can see right now. Now, in the last, I don't know if it was the previous episode or the one before, I can't remember exactly now, but we did combine this field. So I've done that again. This is all combined, but this time I moved out the power lines going across the field. So kindly, we asked the National Grid to say, can you change it? It's going across our field, and they said, why not? Obviously, that was just because it was easier for me whilst harvesting in this field and using Courseplay, if so. But yeah, we've now got a nice combined field between field 2 and 3, I think. So yeah, you can see field 2 and 3 are now combined. Same kind of boundaries before. Luckily it kind of carried over, and I have made a few changes that you can probably tell as well to the grass fields, which we'll go and have a look at now. And it would be traditionally raining. I mean, it is September now. I'm still running 3-day seasons, so each month is 3 days long. And it is probably year 2. I think I was on year 3 before, but I'm in year 2 now. But again, I haven't got any benefit of doing that at all. The fields are in pretty much the state that they just need looking after. Tending to, so we're going to have to get some crop in the ground. Now the entrance I have moved down here, and I actually think it looks a lot better. So this is the entrance that I've made for this field, and as you can tell, it's now combined into one big field, and I think this works out it just works out so much better. It really does. It also helps when down here the entrance coming into there was like a partition between these two fields around here, and coming out this entrance here, it was a tight squeeze, so sometimes you'd have to come round and go back out, especially if you were coming from this way. You'd have to loop round to go back in through that entrance. Whereas now I don't have to worry about that. It's a nice longer field, especially for the grass work we're going to end up doing in this. But if I just quickly show you in the map, you can see that field 35 and field 4 are now combined. Grass field 1 I've completely just done exactly what I did before, so that is now combined and I've planted in grass. So I sorted all that out, so we're pretty much back to where we were over there, and then obviously we've got the woodlands area down here, which I'll just quickly show you. So obviously if you're going to be updating the map, Calmsden, and you're going to move over to the updated version, there is some benefits to that. Obviously Precision Farming custom soil map, it doesn't matter if you don't want to update, you'll still get a soil map, you still work Precision Farming, but you won't get the custom one that Oxy's put in to try and make it a bit more lifelike, let's say, to what you would expect in the area where this map is set. So that's pretty good. And also you obviously get the benefit of using linseed, and there's a few fixes, as in removing the rubbish or the junk that's inside these areas here you can now remove. And also I haven't moved these barns, I've kept them how they were traditionally, and I'm just going to keep a lot of the grass work equipment down here. So we've got the tedder, the windrow and the mowers down here. Same style for each of them. I think I've actually expanded the tedder, so that's a little bit bigger. Yeah, and then finally, if we just go and open this gate, we can go over to where the sheep are. You can see that there's the exact same amount of sheep. Grass fields there just as it is. And we've got some wool already being produced, and it's sitting on the trailer quite nicely, so we do need to take that at some point. We'll let it increase though before we do that. And as you can see, that Marshall trailer that I got on offer, I've actually bought again, so we've got 2 trailers now. Did get rid of the yellow one that I started off with, so I've actually just got the 2. I've got the auto-load one for the Heston bales, it's actually really nice, and then this Marshall one, which I also do like. So that's pretty much everything that's changed. You can tell that the fields are pretty much set. I do like the way the grass fields are now set. Combine the big field again for arable work. We're going to have to decide what we're going to grow in that. And then obviously field 6 just needs a lot of work to it, but then again so does pretty much all the fields. Right, so let's just quickly head back to the main yard and we'll have a talk about precision farming. Obviously it's going to be quite difficult to get the environmental score to maximum, and the reason for that is it takes all fields into account. So I think it does need looking into. I think they might change the way this works, because yeah, it's just too difficult. It's too hard to maintain, and I'll give you an example why. So as you can see, this is my score now. All these fields have got their own score, which is fine. So these 2 here isn't a problem because I've combined them, because I'm going to tend to this the same as I would tend to that, so I should get the same scores. Now there is a line in between that I had to sample. That won't be accounted for, but it really won't matter as well. But the problem is that I've got the sheep pasture and the cow pasture that's going to get a score of around, it's going to sit at 57, which is going to bring this total score down, even if I maximise these out, all this one here, and then this big one. If I combine, make all them to 100, and then these sit at 57, that's going to bring this down. I can't sell them because they're part of this here, and I want to have sheep and obviously cows. so I can't sell it. And then also this one here that's 47, if you actually have a look, that is the whole map. That's the bit of the map you get. So that's including the biogas plant, everything. So there's no way I can increase that one. I can't obviously do any of this stuff. I mean, I could sample it. I could purchase a soil information sampler, which would bring it up slightly, but then I'd have a really weird thing in Precision Farming where I'd actually see the soil map on all this, which is something I probably don't want to see, because then it'd make the map just a little bit strange in here. So the only thing we can do is obviously maximize out field 6, field 3 and field 2 combined. Same for these grass fields, we can do that. And what I could do to make it even better is I could actually sort these out. I could actually mow this grass once, for example, make sure that I maximize it, do everything that I could possibly do with the equipment I've got to get the highest score, just to bring it up to help this score raise and get obviously better. We're never going to get 100% just because of this here. This one's always going to bring it down. Now I could sell this if possible. I don't know if I can do that. We could try and sell this, but then would it have an influence on us using the biogas plant, and also it'd have an influence on us mowing up grass in the woodlands area, as I call grass field 3. So it's going to be difficult, but we're going to try our best. I think that's all we can do. Now, I haven't got any of the maximised equipment. We're going to be doing manual weeding. We need to still buy a manual weeder, so that's going to bring the score down. I'm not going to be direct drilling as well, so that's going to bring the score down. Now, weeds is set to on. Field stones I've turned to off because I find it more of a pain than anything. It doesn't really benefit me at all, and I just find it a pain. So I've not enjoyed using that within the gameplay, so I don't kind of want to use that anymore. So I've taken it out, and also periodic ploughing is turned off as well. So this playthrough now is going to be aimed at precision farming, weeding, all that kind of stuff. We're going to try and maximise everything out, but crop destruction is obviously turned to on. So there is a lot to get through. So I think the best thing for me to do is going to be obviously raise the pH levels. So we're going to be putting lime down within these fields. We're going to try and do it in all the grass fields. We're going to also be doing it on our main arable fields. We'll leave field 31 and field 15. We'll do that at some other point. I think I will obviously raise the pH on them. I'll also get the nitrogen levels fine. We'll try and plant it the best. We'll try and raise the score basically on them as soon as we get the chance. But I think the priority has to be our grass fields, including this one, because this will slightly help us raise that small score of the 47, because it technically is involved with that. And I think that's all we can do. I think that's pretty much all we can do. But yeah, we'll start off with the lime. We'll probably then move over to the normal things we need to do, like planting in the crop. And then I think after that, we will hopefully see an increase in our environmental score. As long as it doesn't drop below 50, we're okay, because then we're not having a negative effect on the stuff we're selling. Anything above 50 is going to give us a positive. So that's the aim. Now, let's talk about crop types. We've obviously got a new crop type within linseed. Now, it gives off straw. So I do want to plant in linseed. That is something I'm going to do straight away. Another crop I want to do is soybeans. I did plan on planting soybeans. So we're going to, what I think is probably best to do is, in field 2 and 3, we're going to plant a big field of soybeans. In field 6, we're going to plant the linseed. And then obviously we're going to do quite a bit of grass work to try and get some more hay, silage, and I think then we'll get the straw from the linseed. And we should be okay then. Until obviously the cows start going crazy and we have a load of calves, and then the demand is a lot higher. So I think what I'm going to quickly do before we end the episode, because obviously this one's just been a bit of an introduction to the fact that I've had to change, save games, start afresh, and then try to catch up to as close as possible to where I was before. So I think we're not going to be able to do too much farming, but we can go and mulch the field 6. I think that'll be pretty good to do. Now, I'm trying to think about this. I think the mulcher, just have a quick look at it, requires 150. So technically we could use the Massey, but I think it's probably better for us to stick in the John Deere here. 1, because of where it's parked, and 2, it gives us the definitely the required amount that we need. Now, I'm hoping this mod works now. It's just the manual attachment. Because of the update, it did have an issue, but yeah, it looks like it's working fine. Just about got that out of there. I had to nudge the sprayer. So yeah, let's head over to field 6 and we'll get some mulching done. I do like this mulcher as well. I haven't used it yet, but I did like the look of it, and obviously it's a lot wider, which makes the job a bit quicker. Right, so there we go. You can see it is actually quite a big mulcher. So let's go around and get this done. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's still, you know, not the biggest tool or implement in the world. But in all fairness, we should be able to fly through this. It looks like the working speed's pretty good anyway. That's a bonus. I mean, it's probably too much, that is. I'd have to manually adjust that. I don't like going that fast. I mean, that's ridiculously unrealistic. So let's go to about 12 miles an hour. I think that's more than enough. Right, so there we go. That is the field done. Field 6, mulched up. Only a small job, but and with the amount of obviously explaining I did at the start of the episode, I really couldn't do much else. But I think it's good to get Field 6 in the same state pretty much as Field 3 and 2. Even though I didn't mulch Field 3 and 2, it didn't give them the option, obviously, because there wasn't a crop within the field to harvest first to then mulch after. But still, we're on a good track with Field 6 to get the best yield possible. So, obviously, in the next episode, we'll try and get a lot more done. We'll aim at getting the crop in the ground. We'll probably stick within the month of September at the start because I can get the linseed in Field 6 within the month of September. But then we're obviously going to need to probably do some grass work after that because Field 2 and Field 3 we want to plant in soybeans, which is not ready until pretty much spring next year. So we're going to have to go through the whole winter months before we get a chance to plant that in. So before I end the video, it is that time again when I just give a few shout outs from a Discord server. So I just want to quickly give a massive shout out to Duzan, who was voted member of the month for March. He has put a massive amount of hours into the multiplayer server. I think at the start of April he had already put in 174 hours onto the multiplayer server. So he got voted by the moderator team and myself, not only because of the time that he's obviously put into the multiplayer server, but also helping people out on there, also being really helpful within chat for multiplayer things and just chat in general. So that hasn't gone unnoticed, Duzan, so thanks so much for all that. Really do appreciate it, all the time and effort you've put into the multiplayer server and helping other people out as well. So also we picked again 3 of the best pictures that were shared in the month of March. Again, there were so many amazing pictures that have been shared, it was quite difficult to choose. But these were the top 3. This is what was voted as the top 3. So let's start with 3rd place, and this was shared by Warfiend. Now, as you can see, it's a John Deere with some mowers, nice sunset kind of background, or sunrise. I think it's more of a sunset, to be honest. And this got voted 3rd place. So in 2nd place, this was a picture shared by Dorwy. I think I'm pronouncing that right. If not, I apologise. It is a pretty difficult name to pronounce. But yeah, this is a John Deere. Looks like it's got maybe a cultivator on the back. Just make it out, and it's obviously in some nice scenic woodland area. So this one was voted second. Really do like this one. I do like the way the lighting's hitting off the dual tyres at the back. So this one was voted second. Really nice picture, and thanks for sharing. So finally, in first place, this was a picture that was shared by Mighty Mike himself. So he shared this within FS22 pictures, and this was voted the best picture that was shared in the month of March. And as you can see, again, another nice sunset, sunrise style picture, and a really nice vintage Farmall. I think it's a Farmall International. Pretty nice tractor. I love the old school style of equipment, the vintage style equipment. And you can see with that lighting effect as well coming off them two lights just hitting the front bonnet of that tractor. And I think he actually used it as a thumbnail on one of his videos as well. And why not? Because it is a really nice picture. So thanks again to everyone that shares these pictures within FS22 picture channel in the Discord. I will again be picking the top 3 from April, and we'll just keep doing it because I do like to show what everyone's doing within the game. It's not only just about me playing this game, it's everyone else that's playing it as well. So if I can just show something from the Discord just to share what everyone else is doing, then I'll keep continuing to do that happily. So thanks again for everyone. I think on that note I am going to leave the video there though, so thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, so that does help my channel out. And if you're new, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator.